In the early 1990s, the quiet villages of Ogoniland became the center of a storm. For decades, oil had been pulled from beneath their soil by Royal Dutch Shell, but the people who lived there saw little of the wealth. Instead, they watched their rivers turn black, their farmland die, and their future slip away. Then came a voice. Ken Saro-Wiwa was not a soldier, he was a writer, a storyteller, but his words carried power. He led the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people, calling for justice, environmental protection, and a fair share of oil profits. At first, it was peaceful. Villagers gathered in open fields, songs replaced silence, protests swelled into one of the largest nonviolent movements Nigeria had ever seen. The message was simple: we want to live. But power does not always listen. By 1993, tensions snapped. The Nigerian military government, under Sani Abacha, moved in. Soldiers flooded Ogoni villages. What followed was not just enforcement, it was terror. Homes were burned in the night. Men were dragged from their beds, accused of rebellion. Some never returned. Women and children fled into forests, clutching what little they could carry. The sound of gunfire replaced the hum of village life. People whispered names of the dead like secrets. Entire communities were emptied. Reports of killings spread quietly at first, then loudly crossing borders. Journalists began to write. Human rights groups raised alarms. The story could no longer be contained. And at the center of it all stood Saro-Wiwa. In 1995, after a controversial trial that the world condemned as unfair, he and 8 other Ogoni leaders, later known as the Ogoni 9, were sentenced to death. The day they were executed, silence fell across Ogoniland. Then the world reacted. Governments condemned Nigeria, the Commonwealth of Nations suspended the country, protests erupted globally, and Shell faced intense scrutiny over its role and relationship with the military regime. But for the people on the ground, the damage had already been done. Villages lay in ashes, families were broken, and the oil still flowed. Even today, the story of the Ogoni Crackdown lingers, not just as history, but as a warning. It's about what happens when voices rise against power, and how far that power will go to silence them.